We have a question. Victoria has a question for you. I don't want to shift gears too much, but I want to make sure we get to it all. She wants to know how you program crystals.
Yes, so you can program crystals. Um, the first thing to remember, or I like to remember, is I like to consider who a crystal is, right? It's a mineral. Minerals have been on Earth much, much longer than humans, certainly, much longer than animals, even longer than plants. So we are talking or getting into coherence with a being that has this different sense of time, right? And has a different sense of what is important.
Yeah.
So then once you've kind of like framed that up, that can help you distill what you're really going to program into the crystal. And then, there's a little bit of a clarity process, a little distillation. So what I mean by that is we often can't quite articulate what we're actually after. A lot of times we start with a physical thing, but really what we're after is like either a feeling that we imagine that we'll feel like when we get to it, or something else. So a little bit of meditation, maybe to just distill what you're going to program. So you program something really, really good, right? And then simply take the crystal. The easiest way that, I mean, there's a lot more specific ways. The easiest, quickest way that I can describe: hold it in your left hand, feel the essence of the crystal go up your left arm into your heart, and just, it starts pumping its knowledge, its essence, its power through your body, through your heart, right? And then come into relationship with it. And I know I'm a huge proponent of using your imagination. So let your logical ego mind go to the side and speak in your mind clearly with intent to the stone and be like, this is what I'm after, right? This is what I could use help with. And then start to visualize the result while you're still having that interaction energetically with the stone. This doesn't have to take a long time. And then put the stone down. And then depending on what type of stone it is, if it's like a pyrite or something active, bring it with you when you go to the job interview, right? Don't leave it at home. However, you wouldn't take that pyrite then and stick it under your pillow to sleep because it wants action. So think about who the crystal is, and you can either do that through your own intuitive knowing, or you can learn about it. But yeah, and try to pick a stone that like is in the flavor of what you're after. And then don't let it be like a one-off thing. And then you just, tell yourself like, I'm going to tune into the stone for 3 days, 7 days, whatever you want, for 10 minutes each day, and come back to that distillation and that, sharing of the energy and the essence. And then, being in communion or conversation with the stone. And very surprising things happen with stones. And it's a each one, not just each type of stone, but each stone is different. Just like we are all humans, right? But we are all different. So just start the relationship is the best way I can say it. And don't make it something that's like onerous or hard. And instead be like, oh, I get to visit with my buddy, right? We're spending time together and we're adding intent, attention, energy on to this. Now we're imagining something in fulfillment together. And then if it needs to tell me something, it will. If it needs to pop a thought into my head at the perfect time, it will. And then also it's like many magical processes, it has a flow to it, right? Because what we think we desire at first, as we try that on in our mind and bring it to fulfillment and really like kind of live it in our mind, it might not feel exactly the way we think it would. So we make our little edits. And in that way, you and the stone are truly co-creating.
Ah, I love that. I love that so much. You know what I love about that is the conversational part of it, like having the conversation. And it totally reminds me, I don't even know if you know about this, but the singer Donovan, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That song, Happiness Runs in a Circular Motion,
Yes,
Happiness,
yes.
whatever it's called. In the beginning of that song, do you know the lyrics? Do you know the lyrics of that song?
Mm-mm.
He's talking about being on a beach, picking up a stone, asking the stone, how many years have you been here? Then the stone talks to him and says, you are like a breeze. You are a blip in my in my
Yeah.
timeline. The human to the stone is a blip.
Yeah.
the stone to the human is like this
That's
magical
why
long lived thing.
that's why
Yeah.
crystals are so good at helping us hold a pattern until it manifests, right?
Yeah.
And that's why also to not just do something one time and be like, I'm out, I did it. I did my magic. Where is it?
Yeah.
Right? It is like any relationship. The more you tune in and come forward and share your heart energy, the more it's going to offer itself to you, and the more you'll be able to perceive the gifts and symbolism that it has to offer you.
Yeah, I think it's magical to really learn. I mean, I have a my my Venus and my Mars are in Gemini, and so I love to learn. I love to learn, right? And so I love to learn about the stone. Where did it come from? Where how long does it take to form this crystal? What's the process of the crystal forming? That kind of stuff can give you a respect for that crystal rather than it just being this servant that you're going to have do something for you.